The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits. What's happening, Octo family? Well, today we're looking at something that one of our patrons let us know about today. Miss Annie, she's great. Why? Because she reminded us of a ticker called RPLA, Replay. Y'all remember that? Y'all been around that long? Who that is? Who that is? Do you remember? They're home loans and reverse mortgage specialists to commercial real estate loans, to student loans, to a variety of other financial services. So you're not just getting mortgages, you're also getting estate, random weird loans, and student loans. Full loan company. I like that because it's not just real estate. You know how I feel about real estate. Why Finance of America? They've got 65 billion plus loans originated since 2017. 65 billion worth. 300 global offices. This company's huge. Look what I found. Finance of America reports preliminary third quarter 2020 results. This came out like, what, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. Still nothing happened to the stock. Why? I think everyone forgot about it. Why? Because it came out in one of the worst times for SPAC. It was like everything that was coming out in October, it wouldn't move. like a decent merger or a good merger would come out, LOI, and stuff would go up like 0.5%, and then it would just sizzle out. Go from like 1020 to 1023. It's just a timing thing. No one's talking about it. I forgot about this company until she brought it up again. But look at this. Pre-tax income grew 65% from prior quarter. And 2020 year-to-date more than quadrupled from the previous year. Funded volume grew 10% from prior quarter, and 2020 year-to-date increase of 68% from the prior year. Raises full year 2020 outlook. Investor call scheduled for Tuesday, December 1st. Finance of America is expected to complete the business combination of Replay, NYSE, ticker RPLA, Replay acquisition, that will result in Finance of America becoming publicly traded and listed, and that was in September 30th. That this happened, I guess. So right at September, October. Okay. Finance of America is a diversified, vertically integrated lending platform. The company operates in 3 lending segments: the forward origination, so we got background and front end origination, reverse origination. So this is big for let's say older people that have been in a house for a long time. They have equity built up, right? They got like 100 grand equity or 20 grand or whatever you got. You can do something called a reverse mortgage, where they basically pay it for you. It kind of adds back up to your equity and jacks things up, but it gives you a way to basically live at your house for free. So it's good if you're limited on income and you have equity that you're basically pulling. It's almost like pulling equity out on your house, but in a different backdoor way. Commercial originations and 2 non-lending segments: lender services and portfolio management. Again, I like it because it's not just one, it's a bunch. Third quarter 2020 highlights: total funded volume grew 10% to $9.17 billion compared to $8.35 billion in the prior quarter. Total net rate lock volume rose 37% to $9.29 billion compared to $6.8 billion in the prior quarter. These are monster numbers, people. This is revenue now. Like, I can't think of another SPAC that is doing numbers like this other than that that mortgage one, United Mortgage. I don't even know if they're doing this much, though. I mean, it just seems crazy to me. I guess they probably are, but total revenues increased 30% to $605 million compared to $465 million last quarter. Pre-tax income grew 65% to $242 million compared to $147 million in the prior quarter. Third quarter, they are netting $242 million. Big. This is huge. 2020 highlights, they've got increased of 68%, $22.86 billion compared to $13.63 billion in 2019. So if we put that on a chart, what's revenue look like that? It's flying. It's absolutely flying up. So I am very happy that she let us know about this and reminded us. This is fantastic. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, but it's a good buy, yo. Goodbye. Look at where the warrants are at. See what I mean? When this was released, the LOI, it like barely moved. It was like at 95 cents, it went to like $1, and then just sat there. October was terrible for SPACs, but this creates a very interesting opportunity for us because you can buy these warrants for $1.09. Yes, $1.09. Compared to the United Wholesale Mortgage, the GHIV, I was telling people that to buy that when that was around like what, $1.10 or something. I think because it dipped down to $1.10 because it kind of went through a SPAC roller coaster. And I think last time I checked that was around 2 or something. I don't know, 2 something. Regardless, so that's almost 2xing your money. So even if we can get to, right now it's $1.09, even if it gets to $1.50, would you take that gain? I am. I'm going to take that gain. This is something that I love about SPACs because in the dips, sometimes this happens. We just totally miss out on companies. And you can get awesome entries because no one's talking about it. Check this out, though. Even the commons, look at this float. 35.9 million shares. That's it. What am I getting at? So with a little bit of hype, a little bit of love, I think that this thing could parachute up. Could just fly up. What do you guys think about this? I like it because it's not just mortgages. You've got the other financing sectors in there, the background, reverse mortgages, all the other stuff. And I like it because it's super cheap. We're also getting closer to merger. I don't even know when that is. I didn't get a chance to look that up, but it should be coming up here within like a month or two, I'm sure, because it's already been a couple months, right? You're going to help me spread this around? You already in this? How about TTCF, Tattooed Sheffy Poos? Y'all in Sheffy Poos? Well, we finally getting cool again. This thing ripped today. It was just ripped. It's been ripping the past week, so good thing we got in early. Regardless, we hit like 23, almost 23 today, which is huge. The cool thing, well, there is a line that we might get stopped out on about 23 from back here in the initial run-up. But after that, there's nothing really holding us back. So if we can get past $23 right now, we ended at $22.10. If we can get past this 23, I don't see anything stopping us until we get to 27. That's even a good rip. So just watch this. This did a little song and dance consolidation over here. You know, people were like, okay, a lot of people were up like 100% or more. If you got the calls we were talking about, we're up like 200% there. You know, people get kind of freaky. We do have a gap though, so watch this around 2094 and 2035. It could try to refill this gap here. If we continue with the market going up like it's been doing, seems pretty healthy. I could see this still stair-stepping up. Again, this quarter, once we get closer to the quarter results, the Q4 results coming out, it's going to smash it. It's going to do awesome. They're still making more products. They're still getting into more places, still doing more white label. Man, I still dream about this thing doing a Beyond Meat. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the Beyond Meat ticker. You'll see what I'm talking about. If we can get a third of the way there, just imagine. Don't forget to take profits along the way, but think about that. This is something that we got to talk about, even though it's doom and gloom. Small businesses already gone. What do we got? How has the number of open small businesses changed across the United States? From January 2020 through September 2020, the number of small businesses decreased by 27% on the national average. Oh my gosh. That is just terrible. The below map illustrates the percentage change across the country. Man, this makes me sick looking at this. It makes me sick. If you want the information, though, I think it's good for us to face reality, though, and realize that it's not just people being negative. Look, Texas lost 31.3% of their small businesses. California, 31.1%. Alaska, 37% of their small businesses down in less than a year. If that doesn't freak you out a little bit. I will say what's interesting to me is seeing let's call it the South, you know, Tennessee, Carolinas, they're doing better than most of them. They're doing excellent. So those are stable-ish areas right near, you know, just be aware of it. You know, Utah is great. the coast over here, though, once you get over to like New York and stuff, DC is down 42.3% of small businesses are out. Just be aware of that, people. Maine, 40.5%. Is that the worst one? Oh, 42.3. I don't know. Just be aware of it, all right? Just be aware of your surroundings, what's going on, and we're using this as a macro tool for the stock market too. It's still the best place to have your money, I believe, right now. That's why we're only really talking about that, but just keep this in your back pocket, all right? Still stay tight, still take that money. It's going to get crazy out there. Electric Last Mile, we got some information on them. So there's a nice article that came out from Minnesota, Indiana. They said that they announced intentions today to establish operations and launch production at a former AM General commercial plant in Mishawaka. Y'all been to Mishawaka? Subject to the completion of the Elms recently announced business combination with Fora Merger 3, NASDAQ ticker FIII. The company plans to create up to 960 new American jobs. This is fantastic. By the end of 2024 to support its expansion plans to Indiana. This is excellent. So at face value, when I first started looking at this too, it's like, okay, it's just like a China company, what's going on? They're getting the vehicle and the guts and stuff from China, but the deal is they're still going to employ like 1,000 people here because you still got to put them together, which is great. So we're also filling it in an area that's probably had an empty factory for a while, is what this seems like to me. 1,000 jobs by 2024, that's great. I think I was listening to some other numbers. I think they said next year around 200-ish more jobs too. That's great. I hope it helps all those people above. People that have businesses, maybe they can get a job here now. They invested more than $300 million in the 675,500 square foot former AM General facility. That is so huge. In Mishawaka, the facility expected to support the production and assembly of the Elms electric urban delivery vehicle with the capacity to manufacture up to 100,000 vehicles annually. Speaking of small businesses, though, these things, I think they're like, what, 30 grand or something like that? 27? Maybe like, I think 32 grand. That'll help small business owners, though, because they don't got to pay for oil changes. They ain't got to pay for gas. That's huge. Ask any small business owner that might have some rigs out there. I'm sure they're spending tens of thousands of dollars a month, thousands of dollars a month. Imagine if you didn't have to pay that for them. It's also going to help in the long term for that also. Might be a good time to start another business. I don't know. Someone's buying up some IPOF. What's IPOF? That's the Chamath Big Bank one. He's got Imperium Capital Overseas Master Fund Limited. Y'all on that one? Y'all ever heard of that? Anyways, they announced today they bought 4,733,273 voting shares in this. Okay, so when the big boys start buying stuff, you should pay attention. Pay attention to it. BuzzFeed Inc. and Now This owner Group 9 Media, two of the largest venture-backed outfits, are exploring deals to buy competitors or go public through special purpose acquisition companies or SPACs, according to people familiar with the matter. That's pretty interesting. I really think we're going to get a lot of merging media companies like this. They're going to be merging, grabbing a couple, and then going SPAC. Monthly U.S. visitors to major digital publications: Vox #1, BuzzFeed right here, Group 9. I've never heard of Group 9 Media. Have you? Complex, Vice Media. I've heard of Vice. Patch, Axios. Okay, Vox Media. What are we looking at here? Unique visitors a month. We're talking like 70,000, 50,000 visitors a month, 100,000 visitors. That's huge. So these are big. Might take a big SPAC to bring them to market. Who do you think it will be? Among relatively small players, short form publisher Axios, they're down there at the bottom, is exploring potential acquisitions, while local news network Patch is weighing a sale after receiving inbound acquisition interest. That's SPACs knocking on the door, the people said. Other potential targets are beginning to emerge, including the youth culture media company Complex Networks and news curation startup The Skim. Y'all Y'all heard of that? You're gonna get a lot of these background names though that no one knows, that are like aggregators and generators and data holders and data sellers. It's gonna be hard. The good thing with those is we might not get an initial hard pop because people are like, "What is that?" So we might get a decent entry on some of them, but still, it might be smart of us to maybe go and research these a little bit. That way, when they do release them via SPAC, we know if it's legit or not, or if it's just like something totally lame. Trilla, remember Trilla? Here's another article about Trilla. What is Trilla? It's like TikTok. It's like YouTube, but really short videos for people with ADD. And for some reason, they are the celebrities that they're getting to endorse it are all like 40-year-old rappers for the most part, and boxers. So 40, 50-year-old boxers and rappers is who they're using to hype it. It might be why you've never heard of it, Trilla. The short-form video app will go public via merging with special purpose acquisition SPAC, offering a fast track to the stock market exchange while avoiding some regulatory scrutiny. The TikTok competitor is what they're saying they are, with $37.5 million raised from investors and Hollywood dealmaker Ryan Cavanagh at its helm. Now Triller is about to go public. Triller will enter an agreement to merge with special purpose SPAC by the end of the year. Might want to do some research on Triller. I personally have no idea how it's going to do. Is it something I want to own? No. No. I mean, you got to look at it, right? I got to look at the macro picture of it. I just don't see it. I just don't get it. If they were going after like younger people in media and stuff, it would make a lot more sense to me, but they're not. I don't understand what they're doing with the marketing. I just don't get it whatsoever. Anyone on Triller, did you download Triller just to watch something the other day? What was it? This is the second time we've heard about this Triller, so this has got to be coming, right? They said by the end of the year too, so maybe it's this weekend, maybe it's Monday. Just pay attention. Your entertainment SPACs, I listed them to my Patreon somewhere. Maybe it was on my Discord. I did a full list of ones I think they might grab. What do you think? Do you think this one will do good? Am I missing something on this? Let me know. The majority is owned by the Cavanagh Media Investment Group. The Proxima Media of the last year was spent about 5 months shopping offers from roughly 20 different SPACs. Remember we talked about SPAC offs, is what they're calling them, where like a bunch of SPAC people will come into a room and they just start like fighting over the deal. I think it's ridiculous. 20 offers they've got, 5 months. The funny thing to me is that they're just saying they're shopping for deals. They're definitely the ones ahead on the curve. They can just cherry pick. Why not? They can call the other guy and be like, well, they offered $500 million cash plus a new Benz. Can you give me a Ferrari? Why wouldn't you? Those SPACs under consideration have all raised between $250 million to $500 million. There's a good hint from investors, which would, after a merger, put their value at upwards of $1 billion. Why not? Currently, the company has narrowed its search down to 2 SPACs options, and it's working under the guidance of ex-Citigroup's executive, Mr. Michael Klein, who has helped popularize SPACs as an alternative route to traditional IPOs to help make the deal. Does this mean this is going to be a Churchill SPAC? No. It's just that this is what we talk about Michael Klein. Dude is just involved. He's just involved. He's got power. He can cherry pick. He hasn't done the best cherry picking lately. I think there was some internal, external drama that probably happened the last couple ones, like even with Top Golf, right? Regardless, something to pay attention to. The only SPAC that would work for him right now is his new one, I believe, because I think it's 450 million. CCV, I believe, is the ticker. Churchill 5, but CC4, no way. It's too big. The MERS on that is like 1.3 billion or something. I don't know. I hope he doesn't. It'll be interesting to see. Any other plays or news that I totally missed out on, please put it down in the comments. If you're not subscribed, please do it. It definitely helps out the channel. We'll see you all out there. Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.